If we randomly shoot a small object, say a marble at a screen, we'll see a pattern on the back wall. Now, if we add a second slit, we would expect to see a second band duplicated on the right. Now let's look at the waves. The waves hit the slit and radiate out, striking the back wall with most intensity, directly in line with the slit. The line of brightness on the back screen shows that intensity. This is similar to the line that the marbles make. But when we add the second slit, something different happens. If the top of one wave meets the bottom of another wave, they cancel each other out. So now there is an interference pattern on the back wall. Places where two tops meet are highest intensity, the bright lines, and where they cancel, there's nothing. Good so far? Now, let's go quantum. An electron is a tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, a single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marble, two bands. What? An interference pattern? We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter, through, but we get a pattern like waves, not like the little marbles. How? Physicists are clever. They thought that these tiny balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So they decide to shoot the electrons through one at a time. There is no way that they could interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern is seen to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it is even stranger. It goes through both slits and it goes through neither. It goes through just one and it goes through just the other. All these possibilities are in superposition with each other.